The spaceship hummed. A routine mission. 10 crewmates clad in colorful suits went about their tasks.
Red checked the wiring and electrical. I swiped cards in admin. Yellow monitored the O2 levels. Everything seemed normal.
Little did they know, danger lurked in the shadows. A chill ran down Pink's spine as she downloaded data in navigation. Had someone just walked past the doorway? She glanced at the security cameras. Nothing. Pink shook off the feeling and returned to her task. The mission had to continue. Each completed task filled the green bar at the top of the screen, a digital representation of their collective efforts. The crew members, each with their unique roles and responsibilities, worked tirelessly to ensure the success of their mission. Every action, no matter how small, contributed to the overall progress. The green bar was not just a measure of tasks completed but a symbol of hope and determination. The crew worked diligently, their movements synchronized like a well-oiled machine. Each member knew their role and executed it with precision. The camaraderie among them was palpable, a testament to their rigorous training and shared goal. They were more than just colleagues, they were a family, bound by their mission and the challenges they faced together. Their spacesuits, a rainbow of colors against the metallic backdrop of the ship, were a visual representation of their diversity and unity. Each color signified a different role, yet they all worked towards the same objective. The vibrant hues stood out starkly against the cold, metallic environment, a reminder of the human spirit's resilience and adaptability.
I fixed the fuel lines in storage. It was a critical task, ensuring that the ship had the necessary fuel to continue its journey. The work was meticulous, requiring precision and attention to detail. One mistake could jeopardize the entire mission, but I was confident in my skills and training. Purple calibrated the shields in shields. This task was equally important, as the shields protected the ship from external threats. Purple's expertise in this area was unmatched, and their dedication to the task was evident in the meticulous way they worked. Every adjustment was made with care, ensuring the shields were at optimal strength. Orange cleaned out the garbage chute in cafeteria. While it might seem like a mundane task, it was essential for maintaining hygiene and preventing any potential hazards. Orange approached the task with the same level of dedication as any other, understanding that every job, no matter how small, was crucial to the mission's success. The green bar inched closer to full. With each completed task, the crew could see their progress, a tangible representation of their hard work and determination. It was a source of motivation, driving them to push forward despite the challenges they faced.
Hope flickered in their eyes as they watched the green bar move. It was a beacon of light in the vast darkness of space, a reminder that their efforts were not in vain. The progress bar was more than just a digital indicator, it was a symbol of their collective strength and perseverance. Soon they would be safe, their mission a success. The thought of returning home, of seeing their loved ones again, filled them with a renewed sense of purpose. They celebrated each milestone, no matter how small, knowing that every step brought them closer to their goal. But the imposter lurking among them had other plans. Their deception ran deep, hidden beneath a facade of normalcy. The crew was unaware of the danger that lay within, trusting each other implicitly. The imposter's true intentions were shrouded in mystery, their actions carefully calculated to avoid detection, their true purpose hidden behind a mask of normalcy. The imposter's presence was a ticking time bomb, threatening to unravel everything the crew had worked so hard to achieve. As the green bar of progress continued to fill, so did the tension, the crew unaware of the impending danger that loomed over them. A scream pierced the quiet hum of the spaceship. Orange lay sprawled on the ground in medbay, a pool of blood staining his suit crimson. Panic gripped the crew. Someone among them was a killer.
Trust evaporated, replaced by suspicion and fear.
Emergency lights flashed, casting an eerie glow on the faces of the remaining crew. Accusations flew.
Who was the imposter? Who would strike next?
The game of survival had begun.
Unbeknownst to the crew, the imposter wasn't one of them. It was a shape-shifting alien, its true form a grotesque mockery of life, with razor-sharp claws and a gaping maw. It had infiltrated the crew, mimicking their appearance, their every move. It reveled in the chaos it created, its cold reptilian eyes gleaming with malicious intent. The crew's fear was its nourishment, their deaths, its twisted victory, and it wouldn't stop until it had eliminated them all.
The imposter, disguised as Brown, sabotaged the reactor, plunging the ship into darkness.
Panic surged through the crew as they fumbled to restore power, their fear palpable in the echoing silence.
Then another scream.
Kyan lay dead in reactor, his suit torn open, revealing the grisly handiwork of the imposter.
The imposter vanished into the vents, leaving behind a trail of blood and terror.
Time was running out. The crew had to unmask the killer before it claimed another victim. The surviving crew huddled in the cafeteria, fear and suspicion etched on their faces. They had to be careful. One wrong accusation, and they could vote out an innocent crewmate playing right into the imposter's hands. They whispered amongst themselves, recounting their movements, searching for any inconsistencies, any sign that might betray the imposter.
Black had been acting suspiciously quiet. White was nowhere to be found during the last killing. Could it be one of them?
Red, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and determination, slammed his fist on the emergency button. The sound echoed through the corridors of the spaceship, a stark reminder of the peril they were in. The crew had been on edge for days, ever since the first signs of sabotage appeared. Systems malfunctioned, supplies went missing, and the tension was palpable. Red knew that calling this meeting was their only hope of survival.
Emergency meeting, he shouted. His voice cut through the silence like a knife, jolting everyone into action. The crew members, scattered throughout the ship, dropped what they were doing and rushed to the meeting room. The urgency in Red's voice left no room for hesitation. They knew that every second counted.
The crew assembled once more, their faces illuminated by the harsh light of the table. Accusations flew, voices overlapped as everyone tried to make themselves heard. The atmosphere was charged with fear and suspicion. Each crew member was acutely aware that one among them was not who they claimed to be. The imposter had already caused so much damage, and they couldn't afford to let them strike again.
Black defended himself, claiming he was fixing lights in navigation. He described in detail the technical issues he had encountered and the steps he had taken to resolve them. His explanation was thorough, but the doubt in the room was palpable. Could he be trusted, or was this just a clever ruse to divert suspicion?
White, her voice shaking, swore she was in security, watching the cameras. She recounted the moments she had spent monitoring the feeds, looking for any signs of unusual activity. Her eyes darted around the room, searching for any hint of disbelief. She knew that her alibi was flimsy, but it was the truth. Or was it? Time was running out. The imposter was still among them, its true identity a terrifying mystery. The crew's nerves were frayed, and the pressure was mounting. Every second that passed brought them closer to another potential disaster. They had to act quickly, but they also had to be sure. A wrong decision could be catastrophic. They had to make a decision, and they had to make it now. The room fell silent as each crew member weighed their options. Trust was a scarce commodity, and the stakes had never been higher. They looked at each other, searching for any sign of deceit. The fate of the entire mission rested on their shoulders. Would they unmask the imposter in time, or would they fall victim to its next move? The clock was ticking, and the outcome was uncertain. After a tense debate, all eyes turned to White. Her alibi was shaky, and her nervous demeanor did little to quell the mounting suspicion. With heavy hearts, the crew cast their votes.
One by one, the votes appeared above their heads, most of them pointed towards White. White pleaded her innocence, but her words fell on deaf ears. The evidence, circumstantial as it was against her. The crew, desperate to stop the killings, had made their choice.
White was ejected into the cold vacuum of space. Her screams cut short as the air was sucked from her lungs. The silence of space enveloped her, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded within the spacecraft. Her body drifted aimlessly, becoming a mere speck against the backdrop of the infinite cosmos. The stars, indifferent to her fate, twinkled on as if mocking the fragility of human life. The crew watched in silence, a mixture of relief and guilt washing over them. They had made a decision, one that could not be undone. The weight of their choice pressed heavily on their shoulders. Each member of the crew had their own thoughts, their own doubts. Some felt a sense of justice, believing they had rid themselves of a threat. Others were haunted by the possibility that they had made a grave mistake. Had they made the right decision, or had they condemned an innocent crewmate? The debate raged on in hushed tones, each argument met with counter-arguments. Trust was a fragile commodity in the vast emptiness of space, and it had been shattered. The crew's unity was fractured, and the seeds of doubt had been sown. Every glance, every whisper carried the weight of suspicion. For now, the killings had stopped. The green bar continued to fill. It was a small comfort, a sign that their mission was still on track. But the progress bar was also a reminder of the tasks that lay ahead, the challenges they still had to face. Each increment was a step closer to their goal, but also a step deeper into the unknown. The crew's focus shifted to their duties, but the shadow of their recent actions loomed large. But the memory of the imposter and the fear it had instilled lingered in the air, a chilling reminder that in the vastness of space, no one is safe. The corridors of the spaceship, once bustling with activity, now felt eerily quiet. Every creak, every shadow, seemed to hold a hidden threat. The crew knew that the imposter was gone, but the paranoia remained. In the cold, unfeeling void of space, trust was a luxury they could no longer afford. The journey ahead was uncertain, and the true test of their resolve was yet to come.